All right, welcome to the podcast. This is going to be fun and helpful because we are in the trenches. Steven, you are how old?
22.
I want to say youngest level 3 coach in the world.
Could be. I think so.
So let's figure out how you got there. So
Yeah.
to be a level 3 coach, that means you're like already training clients, getting in-person success stories.
Yep.
So I guess let's go back to the beginning. Tell us your journey and your story, how you even found ATG, and I'll guide you along, but bring us from the beginning up to now.
Yeah. So COVID happened for everyone. I started training and I didn't really know basic. I was training before that, like any guy trying to put muscle mass on, but not really doing it properly. And as I was building that out, I was playing a bunch of sports. I love to play sports. So from soccer to tennis, I played in high school. Those are my two high school sports. And then I started playing rugby, beach volleyball.
Oh, wow.
I play a ton of futsal now, similar to soccer. But like any sport I can get my hands on, racket sports, anything like that, I'm going to play. And so I started to get kind of some issues. The biggest one that led me straight to ATG was a hamstring strain. So I was playing rugby and I strained my hamstring pretty bad. I was like, I'll just walk it off, because that's how I got up past everything else. And I could not fix it. Like I couldn't sprint, wasn't able to get into full hip flexion because it just pulled all the way through. And so I started doing some research and I found the ATG stuff. I did some program that I found online for about 2 months. And then I was like, this stuff works. Why am I not investing more into the coaching stuff? So that's where I started and got to ATG. That's how I found you guys.
So you decided you wanted to be a trainer?
Yeah. So from there, I was actually just training myself a lot. My neighbor had walked over. She said, I see you're training in your garage. Can you train me?
No way.
So that was my first ever client. And the greatest part is she had watched me growing up and she goes, don't tell me how much to pay you. I'm paying you like the amount I paid my last trainer. Cause I was like, I'm not a trainer, but I can help you. Like I know all the stuff now.
Oh, wow.
And so she was like, no, I'm going to pay you this. So
Wow.
like $100 a week came in and I was like, whoa, I'm going to be rich.
This lady sounds awesome.
She's an awesome lady, wonderful lady. And unfortunately she moved away, but wonderful lady.
Okay, wherever she moved,
Yeah.
we have a new training opportunity.
Yeah.
You're just going to go be her neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. And at this point, like I didn't know all the deep concepts of ATG. I was still using a lot of the old stuff that I had still done, but starting to be like, okay, this could work for her. This could work for her.
Nice.
And doing that and building that out while I was experimenting with myself still, because there's still some aches, there's still some pains that were limiting me.
Okay. So you got that first client. Who was the next client?
So the next client was my mom.
Yes.
So who became my L2 client. So
Wow.
most consistent.
Wow.
Her backstory, and we can talk about it more, but she ran a lot as a kid when I was a kid. So she loved to run. She lost a lot of weight a little bit before the COVID stuff. So she had lost a lot of weight. She was able to run more. But then what happened was the joints started breaking down. Terrible knee pain. Her Achilles, she popped her Achilles while we were playing pickleball. It wasn't a full rupture, but it was pretty bad. Couldn't walk on it for a few days, bad.
Yeah.
And so I started working with her and I was like, I'm going to write your program. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to train you in the morning.
Wow.
And we started training and she's like, okay, now my joints feel better. What else is there? And she's like, I've never been able to do a pull-up. Never in her whole life. As a kid, she always wanted to. And I just got chills right now because like when I think of it, it's just so crazy. And from there, I was like, okay, we'll get you a pull-up. Like we can do that. There's a bunch of stuff. Started reading, read every single Charles article on pull-ups, just putting as much knowledge into my head. Started writing programs for her, and we got her to pull-up.
Wow.
Pull-up amazing, right?
What was that like for her?
It was pretty amazing. Like she was just like, I just did it. Like I controlled all my body weight to the top. At 46 was her first pull-up.
Wow.
So like just immense joy. And then ironically, I said, hey, but the L2 standard is actually 3 pull-ups.
We've since changed that to just one.
Which we have, yeah. Anyways, it got us motivated, and we just started working. She got 3 pull-ups now.
Unbelievable.
It's absolutely insane. Like how many women at 47 by that point with 3 are doing 3 pull-ups.
Oh, especially if you're not. I mean, normally someone who can do that, they could do 10 pull-ups when they were younger. Yeah,
exactly. So coming from 0 an entire life, she used to play on the bar, stuff like that as a kid. So it's not like she was immobile. She's very athletic. To, I still want to, this is still something on my bucket list. This is something I want to be able to say I can do and I've done, but I haven't. Okay, and then my son did it for me too. So she loves that.
No, that's priceless.
So
there's, life is tough. There's always bad news. This, to me, this is what living is for.
Yeah.
What are those moments that could give you some chills? I mean, fight for freedom and ability and for love and your family. Like that's priceless. There's honestly, there's nothing better in life than something like that. That's amazing. That might give my mom has not gotten to the pull-up.
Yeah.
She was happy to fix the hip issues, but maybe this will give her some inspiration.
Yeah.
Watching your mom do a pull-up.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of videos that I've made on it, like talking through the different steps that she's taken to get that pull-up. So it's a process, but it's a process that's worth it if that's something that you want to be able to do. She's now actually she started ATG for coaches. She's going to start coaching people herself.
That's unbelievable.
Which is amazing to see as well. So
wow. All right, you guys are legends. So who's the third client?
Third client. My dad's coworker was a client, and at this point it wasn't like 30 came in and then it was kind of slow. It was kind of people saw the results that I got in with my mom, and she was just like, yeah, my son did it. And my son, like, just pointing it back. So then people would be like, okay, what is he doing? Like, what you had knee pain, you had this, why do you not have that anymore, but you're still aging? And so I got a lot of referrals, family, friends, people that we knew were like, okay, let me try this. And that's where I started.
Yep.
And a lot of those people are actually still with me. Amazing. But it's the building of taking them from, so one lady, for example, it's like she couldn't squat completely down. Her knees would lock. She spent a lot of years in high heels. So there's a lot of issues with her ankles. She couldn't reach the top shelf. Shoulders were in a bunch of pain. Like all these things that were limiting, and she was just like, this is how life is. Like she's got 7 grandkids now. She's like, I want to play with my grandkids. We've gotten to the point, it was a funny moment. She walked in and she was like, she's kind of limping. And I'm like, oh, this was after about a year of training. I'm like, what? We fixed the ankles. What's going on? She's like, I was running on a log with my grandkid in my hand, chasing after the other grandkid. And she's like, and I slipped. Stuff that happens while you're running on a log in the forest, right? She's like, I went down, my ankle rolled, but I kept the grandkid in my arm while I rolled back. And she's like, and the only issue is my ankle. Like, she's like, I got some bruises. Like, that's insane. She's in her 60s.
Wow.
Like
that's where it's at, though. To be in the game with your grandkids.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the joy. That's her joy in life. Whenever I'm working with someone, it's not about where you've been in the past, but when you can keep focusing on the future, that's when you actually get younger. That's when you get younger. And that's where we should focus. If we can focus on where you want to be in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years, we can build backwards to build you the body that will get you there. If you're naturally losing some strength because you're aging, then we need more strength right now so you can be where you want to be.
Yep. Okay, this is amazing. So now let's talk about your future.
Yeah.
Your goals, your strategies to try to get there, because the number one purpose of this podcast is other coaches. If this can help some other coach in some way, which is already guaranteed to do that, because someone out there listening to this is going to be like, oh, wow, I'm going to go see what his mom's recipe was to the pull-up. Is that on YouTube or Instagram or what?
It's on YouTube. Full videos on YouTube, yeah.
There you
It's
go.
on Instagram
So
too,
it's like, so everyone within ATG, every time someone is winning on something, it helps another person.
Mm-hmm.
And then even looking at other people's goals just to see, okay, I'm not crazy. Other people are crazy too. We're going for different goals. So like a few years ago, you didn't know you were going to be a trainer. Now you have a growing training business, growing across social media, and looking to potentially have your own gym. So like, what's your thought process now about your goals? What do you want to achieve? How are you going to try to get there?
Yeah, I'll start with myself, because I think the biggest thing that propelled me forward is actually working on myself.
I like that.
When I fixed the hamstring,
Yep.
I became confident to fix other people's hamstrings. There's an Irish dancer who came to me 2 weeks before her biggest competition. And if you know Irish dance, I've worked with different Irish dancers, and it's insane what they have to do with their hamstrings, with their like explosive ability to jump. 2 weeks before, she had a minor strain. It wasn't major, but it was a strain that limited her. She couldn't dance. And so the other Irish dancer that I'd been working with a while for her ankles was like, you should go see this guy. Like this guy can help you. And then she's like, oh yeah, I had hamstring issues. And I'm like, perfect. Like I know exactly what to do. We saw each other for 8 times in those 2 weeks. So she came 4 times. In the beginning, it was just 30-minute sessions. It's all she could handle. And then we moved to an hour. And she actually qualified for Worlds. She went to Ireland for Irish dance 2 weeks after a hamstring strain.
Wow.
Like beautiful dance, jumping up, doing these kicks, pointing, stuff that I can't even do with non-strained hamstrings.
Yep.
But it's all the different methods that build that out. So as I'm fixing myself, shin splints was a huge one for me. I have a video coming out on different foot stuff that builds out the lower leg so the shin splints can start being more relaxed. And now that I understand that, it's like, okay, how does that transfer to everything else that I also do? So the own personal development in the gym and outside the gym has propelled me forward to see what's possible and how many other people can I help. There's so many people that don't have the hope for a better future of play, joy, confidence in their movement, because they haven't seen that there's an opportunity for that. But when you start seeing that, oh, this person did it, this person did it, this person did it. A client now who's 77, he just started with me, but he's like, no, I want a better future. I want to keep hiking. What does that look like for me to keep hiking? Well, we have to build up strength in here, controlled, build your knees up, everything like that. So looking to the future, that's more past, it's how can I help the most people? And it's like putting out content just as you have, of like so much value that when somebody goes to your page, they almost can fix themselves. But having that other way for people to be able to get more intense or help that is more directed towards them. Everyone has different balance in their body. They need to find that balance. But if you were a construction worker versus a desk worker, you're going to have a different imbalance because of the job that you did, versus the same thing with sports. A baseball player versus a soccer player versus a football player are all going to need different balance in their body. They're all going to have different imbalances that you have to work through. So how can we build the systems that bring that balance to people? And that is like the best way to do it fast is a gym. Having people in person, one-on-one, you're watching every part of their movement, and then you're correcting it and adapting the program so they can see the results that they want to see.
And you're saving them time.
Exactly.
Guys like you and I had maybe we lacked money to have a personal trainer, but we had time on our hands. Mm-hmm. So we did fix ourselves. It's like with ATG, our whole philosophy is balance.
Yeah.
It's the whole philosophy. So it's the same thing of having a balance of ways that people can help themselves.
Exactly.
Like they can go dig and study and fix themselves. They can do an online program. They can find a coach in person. Mm-hmm. And it's not for us to say like what's better. It's like literally what fits for but it's a balance.
Exactly.
And I love what you're saying about like continuing to focus on yourself. For any ATG coach out there, if you want more confidence, start with yourself. Fix every issue you've got.
Yeah.
Achieve goal. If you wanted to be able to do this, but ran into this pain. Well, figure out how to achieve that thing. Then you might go, wow, I've got a valuable skill on my hands here.
Yeah.
If I couldn't dunk a basketball, I wouldn't really know if knee ability works or not.
Yeah.
Trying to do this thing, jumping is too much. Okay, then craft knee ability to make it, oh wow, now I can dunk a basketball. It's easy for my knees. Back in my gym, oh wow, these concepts are working for hundreds of other people. Okay, put online. Okay, it's working for thousands of other people. Continuing to work on it, but you're with me yesterday. Like, I'm trying to jump higher than ever.
Yeah, you're
like
slamming the ball as hard as you can into the hoop.
Yeah, so it is kind of it doesn't mean everyone has to dunk, but it means it's part of what gives an ATG coach confidence. Because like you said, you have a client who's 77. So if you're an ATG coach and you're 77 and you like to hike, you better be able to hike.
Yeah.
Put yourself to that standard. And now if you're 77 and you've fixed your issues and you can hike, you got something valuable on your hands.
Exactly.
So it starts with yourself, but then you're also now, as you're helping other clients, I helped a client with his knee, and it's like, wow, you helped me with my knee. Well, I really want to be able to play baseball again. I had shoulder surgery too.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, I didn't have shoulder surgery, but it's like, okay, others in the group have gone through that. Let's use this shoulder regimen. Boom, the guy's back playing baseball. So it doesn't mean that you have to have gone through every pain that your client might have.
Exactly.
But it can still help you get overall confidence, understand principles. Once you see, oh wow, if you have fixed your back and your ankle and someone comes to you with a knee problem, well, you're still gonna have more confidence than if you didn't fix your back and your ankle.
100%.
So, I mean, for you at this point, you're basically like a modern day Thor. You're able to dunk a basketball with no basketball coordination, which is a compliment. Like, you're just sheer power.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you haven't played a lot of basketball.
I play maybe I've only played pickup. I've never been to a practice.
Yeah.
So it's just for fun.
Yeah.
I think it's fun to play. But the coordination, the movement, I never watched basketball. It's not the sport that I grew up watching, or now I don't even watch it then.
Yeah. Normally to dunk, unless you're like super tall, normally you have to like have some basketball training to dunk. So you're just off sheer athleticism dunking. Yeah. So you're jacked, you're dunking. What else are you doing? What's your own training like? Yeah.
So right now it's a big strength. Like I want to build into more advanced strength methods, squatting super heavy, all of that stuff, but also increasing the mobility. So
without breaking down.
So that's actually a good segue to. So I was pushing different ranges and things like that at the same time that I was snowboarding a ton, which puts a lot of wear and tear on your body. It was like 5 days straight of snowboarding. I get back and I'm like, sometimes I don't make the greatest decisions in the gym because I don't have a coach right there, right? Yeah. Ben Clarefield talks to me one night. He's like, you just gotta chill it a little bit. Squatting ton of weight, back tweaked a little bit.
Yep.
That's given me the confidence to help other people. I had helped people with back pain before I had back pain. Never experienced back pain in my life. Yep. It's like, what? I don't understand that, but of course, like, it's the same methods. You don't have to, like, you don't have to experience. I've never had knee pain.
Yeah.
It's just never been an issue for me. Ankles, all messed up. Shins, all messed up. Hips, pretty messed up. Knees never broke. It was just not my issue. But I fixed probably at least 20 knees now.
Yeah. Amazing.
So you don't have to actually experience it, but it's the methods that make you a better coach when you start to understand them and how they work in different parts of the body. So the back has been building, and now I can squat very comfortably. Have I put the same amount of weight up? No, I haven't, but I'm building back to it slower and actually building more balance around my body and the weak links that broke.
Yep.
So now it's another building of, okay, can I do the front splits, dunk a basketball, squat 405? Like that's one of the big things I want to like ask to grasp all the way down. All the way down.
It's like probably this many or less people can do that.
Yeah, exactly. And play a bunch of sports at the same time. That's probably the biggest thing for me is not specializing.
You're pushing yourself.
Yeah.
To do all that without breaking down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to have a valuable ability to deliver resilience to people.
Exactly. And there's so many different movements that you start doing, from snowboarding to pickleball, racquetball, tennis, all of those different things. I play them consistently, and they're all putting different strain on different areas of the body. So being like a genius with recovery, at the same time as pushing strength so the muscles can develop. Because if we just stay where we are, we're really going down. So we want to keep developing forward. And I just see it like the dunking thing. I never, like, you talk about like you're dreaming of dunking.
Yeah.
I've never woken up and been like, I wish I could dunk.
When
It's
you
just-
play basketball and you can't dunk, that's
no,
that's like, you know, one of your top dreams.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
But coming from a soccer background of playing
Yep.
soccer all my
Yeah.
life, I was never like, oh, I wish I could dunk. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it would be cool if I could jump that high. But do I have a necessary, like, do I have a need to jump that high? Not really. Like, it's not, it's run faster, it's move this way. But now I can run faster and I can jump a lot higher.
Yep.
So
This is amazing balance, because like normally people get into strength training and get stronger, but they actually like lose some bounce.
yeah.
So the fact you've gotten more bounce, getting stronger, this is awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
so getting closer to the end here, looking at your business goals. So, you know, I think every coach should experience having a gym. Having experienced it myself, then having experienced being only online, well, I'm making a gym again because it's just awesome. It's priceless to be helping your community,
Yeah.
to be having that real world experience. I think for a trainer out there, if you can find a balance where your gym is doing well and you've got online income, I think that's going to be your peak lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, I know we've talked about this, not to put words in your mouth, but I think you're planning to have a gym someday.
yeah. Yeah.
So talk us through that.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the big things is LA's in a need for a gym in that sense. So having more coaches is the first step. We were talking about that. We need more coaches to develop that. I'm starting to build up those coaches and train them in these different methods. They're all going to have a different take on all the things because they have different pains. So as we come together, like you say, with the group, it becomes stronger. Like every person that starts fixing their pain and gets more mobile will become stronger. So business wise is I want to have the gym, visiting Ben Clairfield and interning up there. The gym is a family up there. So you walk in and it's like every client is a part of the family as soon as you start. And that environment just prospers results. And building that is the dream. Of having a gym that people walk into and they're like, oh, this is kind of like a second home. And not just that, but this is a second home where I got crazy results.
Yeah.
Freakish results. I was from an athlete to an athlete who doesn't have pain anymore and is better at the sport to somebody who's 70, 80 and like, my life's kind of, I'm not doing much, but I could possibly see like a future where I am doing more. To little kids, like you have, like you're talking about.
Yeah, we're going age 1 to 100 at ours.
Yeah, exactly.
To be clear, I'm not making 1-year-olds lift. We're building a 2-part gym. If someone's just listening to this, where one side is like gymnastic mat, like you could literally be one and just be like working tummy time and crawling, and then we'll have it nice and safe and segmented. But yeah, it's a gym is a priceless thing. It's like you talked about the experiences with your mom. Life has some really awesome, priceless stuff. Family is one of those. Tight-knit groups is one of those, where it's just really, really priceless stuff to have in somebody's life. So, yeah, this is amazing. I fully support you on this. And like you said, it's needed. People need gyms like this.
It's drastically needed. There's a lack of strength training that creates results.
Yeah.
There's not, I mean, you could say there's a lack of strength training, but the results that come from it are why you're doing it. Most people in the world, including me, like I don't go to the gym because I love the gym every day. Most days I actually don't. But when I'm able to perform better, play more, not be in pain when I'm done, like I watch people every time we play soccer and they're in pain when they're done. And you can tell. Like it's just not comfortable, but the joy of playing is so strong that it's like, I'll just deal with that.
Yeah.
Now, if we can create a world where that's not a thing, you're confident in movement and you're like, I could do this tomorrow if I had the time and I wanted to, because it didn't hurt me at all today.
Yeah.
Like that's the community that I want to prosper alongside everyone.
Yep. I know from having it. It's a priceless kind of community, priceless kind of group. So you're working with some other coaches, so it's not just you at the gym.
Yeah, it's been starting. So that's been the goal this year of starting to build out different coaches and mentor them through that. So some of them are actually at their own home gyms. And then for my mom, it's going to be when I'm traveling. So I do a lot of travel training around LA. There's lots of different need. And again, it's time. So can I travel and train someone at their house and then come back? And then when that time is there, like what I'm hoping to build is that those sessions get filled up with more people that my mom's training. So building that out at the home and then eventually transferring to a building that's a little bit bigger and building it out of there. Right now I have everything at the home. Like everything that's in here, it's pretty much is in the garage. It's just I can't have 6 people in there yet. There's just not enough space. So 2 people, 3 people even, I can train at the same time and it works. There's enough space. It's not, no one's on top of each other. But as that need drives the mission forward, it's like, okay, we need a space. We need to build out what you have here. And that way we can bring in groups. If people want a group, like you're talking about, want a group, we can do that one-on-one, where you're going to get the fastest results. So maybe there's 1 group a day, but everything else is one-on-one, and there's 6 coaches running through it, and then we just keep growing. And it just grows from there.
I love it. And to be clear for a coach out there, like there's so many different priceless aspects of life. Even if all you did is you didn't even have a gym and you just went to people's houses and there's no community, it was just one person at a time. Look, that's still priceless. But there's levels to this, and if you have the bandwidth for it and you have the goal of doing it, it is a priceless thing to be able to make a gym where then you have some of that group camaraderie coming in. So like with ATG itself, with the balance, I feel like our most imbalanced part of ATG right now is actually the lack of ATG gyms. There's a lot of online awareness from like social media, modern thing, Joe Rogan podcast, like a lot of modern stuff that it like kind of unexpected stuff. Like, boom, okay, all right, online. We're actually like severely imbalanced online. And then we're actually getting a lot of good trainers now, but because it's so new, there's not like a lot of good gyms. With that
are based around the methods that get the results. Like that build it. So that I completely agree with you. Like we got the East Coast building out. You got New Jersey now.
Got one going here. You got Florida, New Jersey.
Exactly. We just need the West
Coast.
Got to
get West Coast
and then
going.
We can connect all the way through.
Exactly.
Go all the way through that. So that's the goal. That's the dream.
Awesome.
Help people.
Amazing. Well, this is the first of many. You're already a legend. Going to be even more of a legend. Can't wait to visit your gym one day. We'll make sure anyone listening to this knows where to find you. You can start training with him in LA. The more of you that train with him, the sooner you'll have your own gym out there. So thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Amazing work. Congrats.
Yep.
See ya.
Love it.